Hey, moments define our lives, don't they? Well, they do if you let them happen. Could be positive, could be negative. But sometimes I think we just accept things too readily and accept them in a way that it makes them okay, and it's not. Have a listen, please, to what I'm just having a muse in a conversation about with you, okay? Have a listen after this.
Hi, I'm Paul Clough. I'm a hypnotist and a hypnotherapist, an NLP trainer, and do all sorts of things with the mind. And the 5-Minute Quickie podcast is here. Normally lasts 5 minutes, hence the name, a little bit longer sometimes. And it's really just to give you snippets of personal development, self-improvement processes or thoughts, something you think about in between the longer podcasts. So if this is your first time of listening, just take it as a nice bit of fun, but something that you can think deeply or deeper of. And play. Have fun, because there's so much stuff here. Okay, now, that was just a quick intro. Bye.
Warning. 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 You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, my friend, the 5-Minute Quickie, and I think this will be a 5-Minute Quickie, because I just wanted to remind us both, I guess, that things just happen, you know. Events in our life, they just happen. You know, people say shit happens, life happens. Shift actually happens. But those events, you can either let them define you. And we normally talk about the negatives, don't we? But you can let those negative events define you, or you can define yourself through those events. What are you talking about, Cluffy? So how do you let those events define yourself? Well, you can accept them. And in my little brain of mine, when I think I accept something, I seem to think that I accept it as being okay, that it's acceptable. And if something happens that isn't the best for me, because as I say, life happens, we fall over, we bump our knees. But if we say to ourselves things like, this always happens to me, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen to me. Or even ask a bonkier question that, oh no, why is this happening to me again? Why is this happening? And guess what? Well, you know, don't you? Well, you will if you've listened to this podcast enough times to know that if you ask a bonky question, you get a bonky answer. But your unconscious mind doesn't realise it's giving you a bonky answer. It doesn't realise it's a bonky question. It just goes, oh, you've asked a question. Let me find out. I'll tell you why it's always happening. Because the last time you did this, you did that wrong. Last time you did another thing wrong. And it brings to mind all the memories of things that didn't go quite right. Unrelated, totally unrelated, but it strings them together because you've asked a bonky question. And by doing that, you're accepting it. And the more you accept it, you make that belief. This always happens to me because and you're going to put something in there. I'm stupid. I'm incapable. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. Anything like that. And you're letting events in your life define you. And that's not right. That's what this 5-minute quickies are about, really. It's not right. You just have to acknowledge it. See, when you acknowledge it, you're just saying, yeah, this has happened. Okay, it's happened. Doesn't mean anything other than that. It's happened, other than it's a result of something. It's a result of an action I did before. It's a result of, maybe I didn't even do it before. It's just a result of something else, somebody else happening. I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I acknowledge I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. What made me decide to go there? I mean, there's a great thing by Jocko Willink. If you've heard of him, he does a podcast. I actually spoke about this because he said, one of the things, if something happens, doesn't matter what connotation you put on it, bad, negative, positive, whatever, he just says to himself, good that this it happens to me. That's right. Good. This happens to me. So I get to use it. I get to learn from it. I get to solve it. And through doing anything, I get to grow. Good, this is happening to me. Now that's an acknowledgement. Acknowledge that this is a learning thing. It's not a thing that is going to define me. Well, it will in a way, I guess, because it's going to allow you to grow, but you will be defining yourself. That event will not define you. You are using that event to define yourself. You're acknowledging it. Good. This happens to me. I'm acknowledging it. It's happening to me right now. I'm also acknowledging that I get to use it. You could just question yourself and look at that and just say, well, is what's happening working for me? Because if it's not, what can I learn from it? And how can I change it? How can I use it? How can I make it better? Can you see how those questions are so much different to, why is this always happening to me? You know, in that little weedy voice, whiny voice. But when you get to say, good, please, this is happening to me. Good, I get to use it. And when you ask that question, how can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? How can I use it? The whole tone of that question is different. And your unconscious mind takes that tone and takes that question and goes, let's work this out. How can I find the right skills inside you to learn from this? How can I use it to make it better? What a wonderful question. Because you're going to data and then getting your unconscious mind to add it to your skills. And then that's what happens. So that's why I call this defining moments. Moments in your life will either define you or you will define yourself because of them, because you've acknowledged them and you haven't accepted them. There you go. That's it. Sort of a rant, sort of not a rant. But I just wanted you to, I guess, just maybe cast your mind back when something, we'll say negative has happened. And we've gone into that whiny mode. You know, that persecuted mode. There's another word for it and it's escaped me. But also you can get to think about this because it doesn't have to be negative. It's everything. This is, you know, I'm really enjoying this part of my life. Good. How can I use that in the future? What can I learn from this? How can I make it even better? Same questions on a wonderful event. And your unconscious mind goes, yeah, but we can have more of them then. Or we could use them over here. And they get to generalize in different areas of your life. We've talked about that before. Make a change in one area, it generalizes into other areas, positive or negative. So if something really good is happening to you, you can still say that Jocko Willink thing, good. This is happening to me. So I get to use it and use it for your superpower to make your life better in the future. So we're learning from every event in our life, everything that we do. So acknowledging whatever it is and making, you know, the shit happens even better and making the good stuff absolutely awesome. And the thing is, when you make life absolutely awesome, the other stuff doesn't seem to happen too much because you seem to get lucky. You know, you seem to coincidentally find good stuff to do. Serendipity comes and smacks you between the eyes for some really good stuff. All because you've asked some wonderful questions. And that's what we talk about here. What questions can we ask? So what can I learn from this? How can I use this? How can I use that? How can I make it even better? Simply acknowledging and asking the right questions. Anyway, take those questions. Have a think about it. Have a think. I'd love to know your reaction. Just send me your feedback. feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. My email only comes to me. I'm the only bugger here, remember? And you get a lovely personal reply. That's it. If you want to share this, that would be awesome. Please do. But until the next time, Hey, it's time to fly and muse. See you, my friend.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.